The other day I made a video about Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard video, and I believe I said something like I don't talk too much about this type of things because I don't know much about it. But I came across some videos. I mean, there's tons of videos out there about them. But if you want to watch more about the Johnny Depp thing, I'm going to tell you two channels that, not two, no, one channel that I think you guys should follow because I believe the YouTuber is an attorney by trade, so she knows what she's talking about. She explained things, the law and all of that, which I had mentioned in my last video. So I will show you a small clip of that, and I will put her links, video links, in the description.
So there may be a whole bunch of reasons as to why Johnny Depp's legal team decided to go for Virginia rather than California, and I'm obviously not privy to these reasons. But to me, after researching the topic, the most obvious reason is California's very strong anti-SLAPP statute. The acronym SLAPP stands for Strategic Lawsuit Against Public Participation.
But the two reasons I'm coming back to this is that one, you have female who actually do get assaulted by their husbands or their partners, their spouses and stuff like that. And we know how male strength is much more than female. But the thing with Amber Heard thing is the fact that she's manipulating the Me Too movement for her gain. And this is just not fair, especially to those women who actually face those kind of insult. And it will make it, her situation, Amber's situation, is going to make it very hard for women to actually get result for things like that. So her coming out, with all these outrageous claim and those nonsense is just not fair. There's another video I came across, and this is why I'm actually doing this video, is Joe Rogan. I don't watch him that much, but for some reason it was recommended to me, and I click on it, and it was about, I believe, 4 years ago. He sort of speak a lot about gold diggers in his shows. In several of his podcasts, he talk about Johnny Depp. So I'll try to pull out some of them where he mentioned Johnny Depp and parts where he talks about gold diggers and stuff like that. But go to his channel and look at some of his videos where he's talking about those kind of people who pretty much take men for granted. So it's kind of sad to hear that, but it's the fact, it's the truth. So here are some clips.
Money involved in these movies. If you're going to make a film and it's some gigantic thing with special effects and the studio is dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into it, they want a return on their money. Well, Johnny's off the rails right now. He shaved his head. Yeah. Johnny Depp. He looks like he weighs 35 pounds. He shaved his head. He's falling out of his jeans. Whenever you get like 2 tattoos of a woman you only been married to for like 6 months, these are all bad signs.
Joe Rogan, this is a very rough town to live. Ego is a motherfucker. People blowing smoke up your ass is a motherfucker.
Sure. Like, look at these pictures of him now. Stay humble or be humbled. He's wearing a shirt. Dude, you're 55 years old. Why the fuck would you wear that shirt? The West. He was talking in an interview about how he wants to do interesting projects. He goes, I'll never be Blockbuster Boy. But then he became Blockbuster Boy.
Oh, but he's badass in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, look, he's fucking...
I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Phenomenal.
I love him. Phenomenal.
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 He's
the
really
chick
good.
is good. I love him.
He's a great actor.
They cut him loose. He made a ton of money for them. They did 5 fucking movies.
But, he's boys with Stanhope.
Right,
and essentially, Johnny Depp... It's like the feeling of it being... It's like being in a real bad relationship, right? Like, what gets you out of a relationship? You fucking explode. That's what happens. You get to a certain point where you're like, will you just shut the fuck up and leave me alone? I can't take in this negativity anymore. We're done. We're done here. Okay, boom. Like, you have to hit this well.
You got to hit the bottom in order to change.
Yeah, and you got to have that McDonald's job to appreciate a really good job.
And it's great to talk about later. Like you and I, we talk about our first jobs. It gave you the motivation to get on your fucking horse and get out of there.
Yeah, if you didn't have that motivation, and that's where, when we're talking about money, like about our society designed to sort of encourage motivation, which encourages success, which encourages financial rewards, it encourages you more attractive to the opposite sex when you're driving a Ferrari. To a lot of chicks, that's a fact. A lot of people get really mad at that, but that's a fact. It's just a fact. I mean, there's just too many dudes who are ugly and old who have really hot wives.
Right.
I mean, it's just fact. Guys get billions of dollars in giant yachts, and they're fucking these hot chicks, and it doesn't make any sense, but that's a fact.
Yeah.
You can't deny that fact. Why does that fact exist? Well, it exists because we got a weird system. We got a weird system, and that's one of the holes in the system. One of the holes in the system is that achievement has superseded actual physical desire for a lot of these poor gold diggers, and they let this wrinkly old cocksucker shoot his dry loads into you.
Oh.
And you got to pretend you love it.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of guys that definitely have a resentment towards these gold diggers.
Oh, hell yeah.
For sure. Especially once the woman's, the fun has worn off of the game of pretending you're attracted to the man, which, you know, if you're a guy who's not attractive and you're successful and you believe in your head that you're something cool, there's something special about you. Look how well I've done, and this defines me. This watch, see this watch? It's a $50,000 watch, and this is a fucking $20 million estate. And you get that shit in your head, and you get a girl, and she tricks you with your own ego. You get, baby, you're just amazing to be around. I'm just so lucky we met each other. Meanwhile, she is perfect. Her tits are just melons, bob. And I think also, and this sounds fucked up, but that exists because it's a predatory situation. You're prey. You know, if you're a vulnerable, old, weak, emotional guy who also has $1 billion, women are going to prey on you.
Right.
They're going to pretend to be something they're not. And they might even convince themselves that they are that something that they're pretending to be, because their instinct to try to acquire your wealth and your social status is so strong that they want to be the Trump girl. It's also that we're also talking about just two stops on a broad range of possibilities.
Right.
From ultimately totally evil Russian hot prostitute who steals your organs when you're asleep, to someone who just doesn't want to work, and the guy's kind of cool and he treats her good, and so she stays with him.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've seen both. I've seen both. I've seen people get victimized, and I've seen people that are just in sort of this relationship where I wouldn't want it, but it works for them. You know,
and sometimes they're out in the open with it. The woman will tease and be like, "Oh, honey, you know I wouldn't be with you if it wasn't for the fucking money."
Oh, it's not even a tease.
And he goes, "Of course I know that."
That's a movie. That's in a movie. What was the movie that was in? There was a.
She needs somebody to provide for her.
Or she doesn't, but in that role, she does.
Mm-hmm.
If she chooses that role. If she chooses the role, but when you are that girl, okay, if you are that 25-year-old girl with an Adderall problem that's looking to try to hook up with some old billionaire dude and marry him so that he'd be taken care of for life, that's your role. That's what you've chosen. You might have more potential than that, but it doesn't mean that that's not what you've chosen. Oh, you don't even know, baby. She's so slick. She's so smart. I mean, that is one of the smartest girls I've ever met in my life. When she met him and she put all together, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay, you're talking nonsense. She's still that girl.
She's a prostitute.
You can't say, no, listen, you can't say she's a prostitute. Okay, I know her, and she's powerful. Yeah. And what she did was, she's really clever, and she figured out a way to manipulate guys. No, she's still a prostitute.
Right.
You're missing the whole point.
Right.
It doesn't matter if she has all this potential. She reads 150 books a week, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't fucking tell me that girl is so goddamn smart. Oh my God. You're saying she's not smart? No. She's a hooker.
All right.
She's playing the role of a hooker.
So pretty much, if you really want to watch, the process of what's going on right now, it's Lost Beyond Pluto YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description. She's very good. She explains things step by steps. I don't really follow the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing. I only knew Johnny Depp from 21 Jump Street and Edward Scissorhands. And I know he did the Caribbean movie. I forgot Captain of the Caribbean. I forgot the name of it, but I never really watched it. But I know of some movies he made after, back in the 80s and 90s. But that's how I knew Johnny Depp from 21 Jump Street way back then when he just started and stuff like that. but the whole Amber Heard against him is just not fair for what he's going through, and it's really putting a very bad rap on women who actually going through domestic violence. So here are some clips, and I hope you like the video. Actually, before I go, there's another video I came across. I clicked it by accident. It wasn't the one I was supposed to click, but it sort of showed a timeline of what lead to what's going on right now. So I probably will show a small clip of that, and I'll put the link in the description. But it's not, I don't follow these people, so I don't know much about the channel besides the Lost Beyond Pluto YouTube channel, because I've heard her couple of videos she posted. She's pretty much knows what she's talking about. So I believe this is the channel you guys should watch in terms of Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. And I believe she also covers the lawsuit that's going on in England. So that's the channel to watch. But me, I don't know anything about that, and I saw my last video about it, did pretty good. Believe me, I'm not making any money on anything because I don't have that many subscribers. But I'm just pointing out to where you guys should go to watch the whole saga between Johnny Depp and his ex-wife, Amber Heard.
The 30-year-old actress filed for divorce on Monday.
An added blow to a devastating week for Johnny after his mom dies just 3 days before she files for divorce.
And it would be unbelievable to imagine that either I'm in A, secret fake club, or B, I've had
a secret what?
I've had a secret fight club, or that I have been plotting to do this for 3 years, and while taking pictures of it and documenting it, just saving it up for the right time when I'm not asking for any money and have nothing financial to gain from it. Like, no one is going to believe that. No one.
But Amber shows no remorse, demanding she receives spousal support from her movie star ex, with Pirates alone rumored to have netted Johnny $95 million. All money that Amber will now likely be entitled to.
Amber is asking for spousal support, but Johnny's legal team has already responded by asking a judge to reject this claim.
An extortion letter to Johnny's team. She demanded 3 of the multi-million-dollar penthouses with all expenses and utilities paid for, including the one Raquel and Josh Drew had been living in rent-free. She also demanded the Range Rover and $50,000 a month, with such monthly expenses like $10,000 a month for gifts, vacations, and entertainment, and $2,000 a month for clothes.
Amber Heard has apparently dropped her request for $50,000 a month in temporary spousal support from Johnny Depp.
It's a divorce, now a restraining order. Good evening, everyone. I'm Paul Majors.
And I'm Pat Harvey. Actor Johnny Depp was slapped with a restraining order today after his estranged wife, Amber Heard, shows up in court with bruises on her face.
Smiling and laughing just 24 hours after accusing the Hollywood star of abuse. Doug Stanhope, where he says Amber blackmailed the star. The comedian and his wife spent the day of the latest alleged assault with Johnny. He recalls, "We assumed initially that his dour mood was because of his mother's death the day before."
So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.